house, right? Because she's 10 of us. So
Right. Okay. About that time. Welcome to a new group offering called Connexus that was created by Vera Takakura. Did I say your last name right, Vera?
yes,
Takakura?
that's
Yeah.
correct.
Let me give you a brief history about Vera. I met Vera. I was doing a retreat on the Big Island for a friend's retreat, and Vera came in as the wild card. She was just at the very beginning, the very spark of her spiritual awakening. And she was just kind of following the call. And I remember she landed on Big Island. She's like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what's going on. I just felt like I needed to be here. And so this is where we made the connection. I gave her her very first reading then. And, it was pretty down to earth, pretty everyday life kind of things, nothing too extraordinary. But I was like, okay, this is cool. Like this girl's you know, embracing and embarking on something mysterious that's awakening up in her. And from there, I saw her just take off. And I got to say, in my history of clients, I would say Vera and I have had more sessions than probably me with any other individual client. We're pretty high up there. Yeah. But what was really amazing about working with you, Vera, was to see you are the example of when somebody takes this seriously and they do the work and they educate themselves. I mean, I saw you go in and take this training, that training, work with these teachers, things that were just so far on either end of the spectrum as far as like spiritual types of work. And every time I would read you, I remember I used to be like, you get 5 gold stars, most improved. How did you wake up this fast? And I was like, wow, it really works. Like when people really invest in themselves and really dive in, like to see how your energy had expanded and evolved, it was it was like mind blowing from each session. And we would have sessions like pretty regularly. I'd say like every other month or every few months or
It was
something
like
like
once
that.
a quarter. It was like once a quarter.
Yeah. But still, it was just in such a short period of time to see how much growth that you had, how much expansion, and how deep we were going. And one of the things that revealed itself very quickly about you to me, and I remember that time where you were like, deep in your career, and I don't know what my path is, I don't know what my purpose is. And I used to tell her all the time, I was like, you're going to connect people. That's what I would say. I was like, you are going to connect people, you're going to bridge people, you're going to
Well,
find facilitators and highly elevated like teachers and connect them with other people. This is exactly what you're doing. The interpretation was pretty darn close, I would say. For all those beginning years, you're like, when's it gonna happen? How is it going to happen? There was that piece. And then there was also the extraterrestrial piece. Like very quickly, there was this moment in which I was like, started recognizing you. I was like, dude, you're like an ambassador of the extraterrestrial realm. Like I would have these very immense visions of her being in this like intermediary space. I almost called it like a space station or something. It was too hard to explain, but I was like, you're like the meet and greet, and all the different extraterrestrials come and they all know you, and when they come through, you're like, oh, who do you need to see? This is where you need to go, this is what's happening. And there was always this like progression in which I was pulled up into this extraterrestrial crossroads. You were somehow the liaison, and that conversation and communication with these extraterrestrial components just get like deeper and deeper and deeper. And then one day, and it was around the COVID time. It was right around when COVID was deep happening, and you had just finished a Akashic training, and you're like, can I try something? And I was like, yeah. I was like, sure. You're like, I'm going to pull you up into the Akashics. And I was like, okay, sure. Nice story. Like, you do that, Vera. It's like, I don't know. And she did it. And I was floored. I remember that session because, my sessions, for those of you who've had readings with me, are very personal. I dive deep into your field. We're going through all of your things. I went so far out. I remember like glimpses of that particular session, and I felt like I was on the far reaches of the universe. having conversations with beings that had nothing to do with you at all. Actually, they were talking about the planet and the world and what was happening and COVID and like all these things. And I remember it was like shaking. I was like laying down. I was like almost couldn't hardly breathe, you know? And we went through this whole session and I came back and I was like, I feel bad you just paid for the session and I didn't tell you anything about yourself. And you were
No,
like,
it's a cool experiment. Thank you.
yeah, but you were stoked on it. You're like, wow. And I was like,
It
that was
worked.
so powerful, you know? And you know, I go into these sessions with you just as I do with all my clients. You know, it can be so profound, so big in the moment. And then after we close it out and I kind of dip back into my life. And then, you know, a few months later, you would have that session again with me. And I would completely forget that we had done that thing. You know, I'd just be like, oh, okay, I'm seeing Vera. And then Vera would be like, can I pull you up into the Kashyyyks again? And I was like, oh, yeah, that was crazy last time. Like, it probably won't happen again. And she did it. And it, once again, it was the same thing. And I'm just getting these downloads about humanity and the planet and like the nature of reality and how it was created and like the things that are just so outside of this, you know, earthly reality. I mean, it was just so out there. And so, you know, and then this became this pattern. I'd say we did probably at least like 5 of those, you know, at least, where then I started feeling guilty, you know.
You were like,
I was like,
let's,
man, I'm
let's
getting
not
more out of this
rerun
than
you.
you are. But she kept making the appointments. But it was, now we see in hindsight that it was a development that led you to this, you know,
Yeah.
because I think it gave you, there was a lot of channelings that came in to help you understand what you were doing and what your path was and to validate the work that you were achieving for yourself and some of the messages about your purpose, right? And so eventually my books got overwhelmed and eventually I needed to stop kind of doing so many readings. But by that point in time, Vera had started connecting with some of the other women that she had met through some of my other retreats, one of them being Tamara, who's partnered with her on this project. And Tamara is also, when I first met her, uh, already versed in the Akashics. It was a match made in heaven, really, the two of you together. Very clairvoyant, very tapped in, more experienced. She is an elder, but young in spirit. And she was already sort of very seasoned in her spirituality, and her and Vera made a connection. And just like now knowing the two of you, it just makes so much sense. And then I believe that you two took this that Vera and I were kind of experimenting with in the beginning, and Vera started receiving instructions on how to open this portal up to group sessions. And there was even sessions that you and I had that I remember there was some advice that came in along that line. And now it's come to a point where I haven't had time to have individual sessions with Vera, but I have been talking with the other women that and there are men too, I'm sure, but the other women and some of the other people that you've worked with who have been sharing their experiences that they're having with you. And I was like, that's exactly like what it's like when I go up there with Vera. Like, to see that you were able to bridge this and find a way to present this to many people at once instead of individually, because the work can be so much greater, we can go so much further. And I'm just, you know, saying before I go into this, because this is my very first group session with Vera. And she's going to give a little bit of an instruction, a little backstory and instruction about what to expect and what this is going to be. I'm really excited to experience it. Uh, we've been talking about it for a long time, so it just felt right to just bring her on and invite everybody on here. So I just want to thank everybody for coming in and giving it a chance, and then like also the opportunity to continue to work with her because she offers these sessions regularly, and they go into some wild stuff. In fact, like my assessment of Vera and Tamara and what they're doing is that what they're doing is next level. I think it's futuristic it for us now, but I also get the strong feeling that there will be a day sometime in our future which this type of work is going to be very common. You know, this will just be like a regular, oh yeah, this is like what we do. But right now, I think it's so innovative and so progressive that it feels very new and it feels very exciting. And they are exploring. I what I also appreciate about you is that you're not limiting. You're like willing and courageous enough to kind of like stretch a little further, dive a little deeper, explore some topics in some areas that might be controversial and different. And for those who like to like go into the, you know, the woo and the weird stuff, you know, I'll tell you, Vera and Tamara will take you there. But for this session, I believe we're just going to go up and collectively see what kind of contacts and information channelings come through. So I'm going to hand this over to you, Vera, to give a deeper explanation on your end and prepare us all for what's about to unfold.
Thank you so much, Judea. It is really an honor to be here simply because, again, from your reference to 2018 when I first met you, and I got the clue that I followed in my head when you were reading me through the chakras, and you got to my heart chakra and you said, "Hey, I see something there. What is that?" And I said, "Oh, I'm doing this meditation where I'm being told to direct light out of my heart, to send love out of my heart." And you said, "Oh, I can see it. Okay, at least I know what it is." But it was that sort of like quick check or confirmation that down the road through the years allowed me to kind of keep validating the work that I was doing and developing. It was like, I'm going to try this. Let me see if Jude can see it. And so each time you confirmed that for me, that gave me more confidence to keep moving and forging forward with what I was doing. So I was kind of spoiled. I was booking with you once a quarter, kind of like a report card every time, but it was important for me. And as we evolved, the critical, I guess, junctures, like you said, during COVID, I had been taking up a bunch of different courses specific to the Akashic records, but this was more focusing on the energy more than the information. And so I asked you one day, "Hey, because you can see so much and you're so clairvoyant, do you mind if I open the field?" And you said, "Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever." And then we went in, and then you had this humongous long streaming, and then you came out of it going, "What the heck just happened?" So for me, that was very validating. And number two, when I used to be spoiled to get readings from Patty too, and both of you said to me at one point, "Hey, Vera, I don't know what it is. You look like you're leading people. I don't know if you're a participant. I don't know if you're a leader." You were both telling me that. I said, "What am I going to do? Am I going to teach people tech?" Because that's what my 3D life is. I've got over 30 years of technical experience in the tech field. And really what I started to experiment with, in all honesty, is reframing and repurposing 3D technology concepts into the energy world, understanding how data moves through a network, and likening or paralleling that to energy and how energy moves. And it was like, lo and behold, it actually worked. And so it was pretty crazy for me when I got that confirmation. So this is how CoSession has grown. And so from my initial one-on-one sessions with Jude, it has now grown into several people in our group who meet on a regular basis. And we always set the intention that whatever's to come, or we don't limit it. We just basically allow for whatever is highest and best to come for everyone and the collective. So that's the history for that. The technology I'm going to just touch on really quickly. I know this is not not a lot of people here are probably on the technical side, but the concept is called link aggregation. It's when you take circuits of varying sizes and you bond them to create a bigger signal or bandwidth of a circuit. And so in essence, what we're doing here is we're taking everybody's energy fields and we're going to bond it through intention, through our participation when we go in. The sessions are usually conducted where I actually vocally walk everybody through, just like a guided meditation, and you basically listen. But when I call upon, when I open the records to name Judea and Tamara, who will be with me on the call today, I'm not going to have everyone on because it's going to be a little too noisy. So while everyone's muted, when I say, "And I'd like to open records for entire session," just say your name out loud. When you say your name out loud, that will express the frequency of your voice into the energy field. Let's see. And then for the real quickly, I wanted to cover something. I'm going to share a diagram with everyone if I can find the share button. And let's see if I can share this. Can everyone see this? Can everybody thumbs up real quick? Or you're muted, Jude. Or
Yes,
can you thumbs?
can see it. Body
okay,
geometric sequencing.
Yeah. So basically what I like to tell people is, when energy work, we're not usually accustomed to having group energy, and group energy can be overwhelming for some people. I always try to remind people that using simple sacred geometry will help your energy field manage the energy as it's actually moving or what I'll call streaming during the call. So having some level of either visualization or intention of sacred geometry around the body. This is an octahedron or the counter-opposing tetrahedrons. This just helps create somewhat of a barrier for the energy so that it can work through your system and not necessarily overwhelm you. Because sometimes some people might feel lightheaded. Some people might actually feel kind of dizzy. So I bring this up as a, hey, you can either initiate this shape around you and visualize it being activated, or some people like to actually intersect the top and bottom into the Merkaba, which you recognize down there. So it's just up to you how you want to maintain the energy in your field. But it's just something that I always try to get people accustomed to, because as you start to work with energy in larger and bigger capacities, this becomes almost, I won't say it's like a necessity for you to have something kind of assisting you energetically. And let me go back here. And then, so Tamara, did you want to introduce yourself real quickly?
Yeah, I'm just, my name's Tamara. I've been very, very fortunate to, well, here. I've just been very, very fortunate, first off, to meet Vera. We ended up rooming together on the last night, and that started our journey together. She took me through a couple months later. And ever since then, things have just gotten bigger and bigger. And it had been her and I. Sometimes we get some other people to come in. And we had this, you had this grand idea to start a CoSession group, which has grown so fast. It's almost amazing. And it's exciting what we're getting. We're going places and show up, and we receive healings and information. And it's just fantastic. And there's no way to completely describe it other than experiencing it. And many of the people on the call today here are in regular CoSessions, and it wouldn't happen without it. It doesn't work without the cohesiveness of the group. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Vera. So excited.
All right. So without too much further ado, what I like to say is, if any, before I start the journey, I call it, if people want to go off camera, get comfortable, whether reclining, sitting up, or lying down, it just gives you an ability to not have any external, what I'll call distractions, as we're going through that vocalized journey. So I always try to say to people, get comfortable so that you can fully listen and just immerse yourself into the session. Good, Judea already turned off.
I'm still here. Do you want me to stay unmuted?
Yeah, let's just do that, because then you may be like in your journey and then be muted. So you might as well just stay unmuted in this case.
Yeah, just cue me if you when it's appropriate. If if I'm receiving something, I don't want to just bombard in or whatever.
No, you go ahead and speak. Go ahead and speak. I think we'll be okay, because that's why we've made it so that it's you and Tamara. It should be okay.
Judea, I'm going to sit back and let you lead on with it, and I'll just add in where I need to.
Okay. All right.
Sounds
I have
good.
no idea what's going to happen.
Me neither. But this is why this is
Sometimes
exciting.
there's a part of me that's like, nothing's going to happen. And then I'm like, whoa.
We never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So just trusting the process. If everybody's feeling like they're in their positioned or comfortable, or in a space where they're okay to start. I'll give it a minute. All right, I already feel like a huge intense amount of energy already bubbling up, but okay, so if everyone's in a comfortable position, I'm going to ask you to start to take your attention within by taking a deep breath in through the nose and then letting that out as comfortably and as naturally as you feel in this moment. Start to see, sense, feel, imagine the energy field around you as we define the points of presence of our energy in light body as the front, back, left, and right sides. As that alignment begins, the light bodies all start to synchronize from the physical, etheric, mental, emotional, astral. And from here, the foundational frequency initiates. This is the signal for us to start to connect. We're going to take our attention above about 5 or 6 feet so that we can see, sense, feel, imagine the light of source. At first, this light will look like a dispersion of light particles that will then start to group and pool into random spotlights as we continue to focus. And in these random spotlights, they'll continue to move until they converge into one. And through divine love and light, through the power of source, we're going to move through the chakra system, down the sun, soul star, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, legs, feet, down through the earth star. We're going to travel down into the crystalline core of the planet, anchoring, centering here with Mother Earth in the heart of Gaia, where we set the intention to clear and transmute all low-level frequencies, negative energies across all time, dimension, space, and realities as we fully and completely release any density into the planet. Giving that a minute right there. As we complete this, we're going to alight back up through the earth star, feet, legs, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown, all the way up into the central sun, pushing past into the unity consciousness field, pushing farther into our pinpoint connection to source. Understanding we've created a chakra circuit pathway that allows our light body and consciousness to move freely. We release the physical. This then allows us to go down through the sun, soul star, crown, third eye, throat, to home and center into our heart space, expanding our hearts into the universe, allowing our divine column and pillar of light to expand along with it, so that we may connect to the galactic center where we sense the void, feel the void, expand into the void, we become the void. No boundaries exist. We all become one. And from here, I call upon the cosmic table of light, and I ask for source light records for myself, everyone to Takakura, Judea Lynch, Tamara Pasick, and then everyone in session, please say your name out loud.
Jack.
Juliet,
Georgia Hoops.
Sandra Young,
Denise Scott.
Karen Bandari.
Sylvia McGee.
Janice.
Sierra.
Lauren Mihak,
Emma
Dean
Cloud.
Ellen Warren,
Toshiko Temple.
Taking all of that.
Natalie Chung.
Okay. And as I've received each and every one of you, I'm going to turn my palm over from the cosmic table of light, and I expand the records high and wide until they become the light of the sky and beyond. Allowing all of that to open. Setting the intention that all healings, clearing, support, guidance, assistance, information streams, downloads, frequencies, vibrations of the highest order and magnitude come forth for everyone, for each and everyone in session. Also allowing for those that listen at a later date to be included in this opening as well. As we honor, acknowledge, and request the presence of the ascended masters, teachers, loved ones, star families, galactic beings, archangels, ancestors, record keepers, guides, beings of light, healing dragons. We allow for these energies to open and converge so that the records are now open, field access is now granted. All frequencies are active across all spectrums, all optical data streams online. How are you feeling, Jude?
I'm good. I'm being greeted by a being. I'm in some sort of conference room. There's many in beings, or I don't want to say individuals, or the presence of many beings that are sitting back as though like I'm in a conference room. There's one being, they're very beautiful. They're like made of, they're tall, they're luminous, they're made of light. They feel like an ascended master, a high level teacher. And there's this communication coming through that, well, we've been waiting for you, and this is the time. This is a meeting that has been appointed. And there's this sense that all of these other beings that are, behind this other being that's coming forward, are all here to witness and to stand behind whatever information's about to come through. Like, it feels very serious, actually. It feels like this is like a serious meeting that's happening. And so I'm just taking that in for a moment here.
When we first went in, I saw two large, like stone towers that opened up with Jesus meeting us and taking us. Huge being filled with light. I interpret this being as Elohim. Midnight skylight with around everyone, sparkles, beautiful white sparkles. And yes, he's there to give us information. And
Yeah, I resonate with that, Tamara. It's not that this being has identified themselves, but there is that quality for sure. There's this, okay. They're communicating something to me as though there's like a great preparation that's happening, and that we are, on this, I don't even want to say the precipice, because it feels like it's already begun. Like we've already crossed into the beginning of this preparation. It's sort of like when you're preparing for something that's about to happen, and then it starts, and you're still scrambling to to wrap up the preparations to make sure, like when a party starts and the guests are already arriving, but you haven't put everything out yet, and you're still just like doing those last little minute things. Like, this feeling collectively for the planet is what this feels like. It's like, okay, it's like game on. The show has begun, and we are started. And there's this imminency in this preparation, and there's a necessity, and it just feels like this is so important, that this is the top priority, this preparation, that the people, the illuminated people, the awakened people who are on the planet, the ones who are relaxed and secure and faithful enough in themselves and their spirituality to receive this guidance and instructions and information. And all of us are like I don't know, say running, dashing, like very quickly getting into position. Like, there's no question that this is what we're doing. We're like, oh, this is where I need to be. This is what I need to be doing. There's no more space for doubt and insecurity about like, is this real? Is this not real? What should I be doing? How should I be doing it? It's sort of like this very loud call. This is what it is. This is where I'll be. This is what I'm going to be doing. And I'm seeing this like illumination amongst many people who are awoken. And this is the time in which that activation and this like very intense call is coming into people. Whether you are at the very beginning of this awakening or well into it, doesn't matter, because the time is not moving the same. Whereas before, even just a few years ago, from the time of your initial spiritual awakening, it would be some time, it may be some years, okay? But what they're saying now is like the moment you click online, the acceleration to get yourself into the position, your most optimal position, is like almost instantaneous. This is what I'm being told. And this is what I mean about that imminency. This is like the last dash scramble, like everything is arriving, everything's being put into place, and we all need to get to where we need to be. And there is this push and this support and this clarity of love. There is this clarity of truth that is being emanated in the world, where the veils of deception, of illusion, of doubt, of fear are being wiped away, so that people no longer have to push through these filters that are blocking them from achieving their highest alignment. Like they are needing, they are it's so, it feels so accelerated and so fast. It makes me want to cry, because I'm very like excited and happy for everybody that I know that is coming online right now, and they are breaking open, and just knowing that we don't have to wait years for them to develop. They're going to develop so fast, and they're just going to just almost effortlessly just get into position and begin to do the work. And the work that I'm seeing individually that everybody is doing is like this extension of like help and care and compassion and love, and the understanding of like the healing that needs to happen for themselves, for the planet, for the people, even the compassion that I'm feeling for the people that are like the most judged and the most put down in the world as being like the monsters and the demons of the planet, of just like even these people understanding to be at such an elevated degree that they understand that it is to love even those that are cast down in the planet. Even those that are doing the most horrific acts against humanity are being shown love and compassion and understanding, because these individuals who have truly illuminated themselves see that these individuals are broken, and they are hurt, and they are wounded, and they are carrying so much that is creating all the chaos in the world, and they need love more than anybody else. And so there is this grand opening of like unconditional love, compassion, and forgiveness for all individuals. Like there's like not even a judgment that I feel as this light is accelerating. That everyone is going to come into a place where they're not going to hold anything against anybody anymore, and everything is going to be forgiven.
So I started crying just as we went into the Akashic records, and I couldn't understand why. I felt that heaviness. I couldn't understand it completely. So thank you for clarifying that. But I see us on platforms. That acceleration is happening right now. And there's a group of us, just about everybody on the call here. We're standing on a platform, and we're ready. We're ready to help the people on the rung below us, to bring them up. It's like baseball reference. We're like on deck to hit the ball. We're ready to go. And that sadness is coming through so prolifically.
I see it as a movement. I see it as like this, it's like a grid. I see like one lights up, and then from them 5 more light up, and from them 5 more individually, and it spreads like this web. And it is the highest, clearest truth. And this is what, like, where all judgments are set aside. There's no more space to point fingers, to blame, to shame, to judge. There is this love, it's unconditional love that is about to illuminate the people. And as I'm being shown, it starts like this. It starts with 1, then 10, then 50, then 100, then 100,000, and it blossoms until it crescendos into everybody. Or like a blast that's going to happen. So it's not that everybody's sitting here lost in wandering circles, not understanding. There is going to be a preliminary activation amongst certain souls that have tapped in and tuned into this. And there has to be, as I'm being told, this complete surrender. There's a complete, like, you have to not judge yourself. You have to not judge others. There has to be this complete surrender and this deep, like a true, sincere desire to be aligned in the highest and truest and purest light within yourself, and to call upon yourself to be a vessel, an expression of this divine light, and to in a way, like, surrender yourself to be like whatever the plan is, whatever I can be best suited for. And when you let go and stop trying to control what it is that your ego decides or thinks that you should be doing, the answer is going to come, and it's going to be very clear, and everybody will be put into position. And there are certain individuals that will be that bridge. They will be like this key. There'll be like, it feels like there's like these high like points of pure light. And then all those around them are those who are like beginning to accelerate their light up. You know, they might not have reached that fullest clarity, but they begin, you know, they go from being completely shut off and in shadow to beginning to illuminate until the whole frequency starts to open up, in which it feels like, okay, we're all prepared. We're all ready to receive. And then I just feel like there's this flip and everything opens up. And it's like the whole world is just breathing for the first time. And we just make it. But it takes like those first pioneers, and we're just trudging and we're just grabbing as many people as we can, and we're pushing and we're pushing. And then everybody just starts grabbing another hand, and we're just all going until it just breaks open. And this illuminated being, which may be Jesus actually, or Elohim, as you're saying, it is a very high master teacher, like a pillar of light, very beautiful, is saying that this is what is happening. This is what we are currently in. This is the movement that is occurring in this moment now. And this acceleration, it just feels like almost like every moment, every second, another light is being turned on, another light is being turned on. And it's a very beautiful thing. And there's this sense of relief, and there's this sense of certainty. There's this sense of like absoluteness that this is what is occurring. And a message of saying, have faith. This is the plan. This is what is happening. There is nothing that is going to stop this. There's nothing that is going to get in the way. This plan has always been absolutely guaranteed from the beginning. You know, it's the individual consciousness, our own fears and delusions, and the forces that are working against us that convince us that it might not, or couldn't, or shouldn't, or maybe it'll fail, and we try and fail again, because there's always been this battle between the forces of light and dark. But what I'm being told is that this is the time, and this is the moment that was decided, that this would be a successful mission for humanity and for the planet to ascend.
Well, I'm seeing everything play out in fast frames on a film of what's happening, where we are, where the safety zones are, if you want to call them safety zones. They're energetic places. Ramu and Amayan are here with us, and they're presenting as these two huge beings. And I'm understanding that they're saying, we've been through this many times, and you will be through this again, and it'll be fine. There's so much energy right now.
There's this deep felt happiness that I'm feeling from this being, as they're reflecting to me the joy that they feel in knowing that, I'm going to say, it almost feels like they're children. I don't want to say are their siblings or something like that. It's like their family. That their family is going to finally be alleviated and remember their true beauty, their true divinity, and their true light. Like, this being is just so happy that this time has come, and that people are going to step back into their true uninhibited, unboundless selves, and remember, and this is the sweetest piece, is remember how much they're loved, to remember how special that they are, and how held, and in how in every moment throughout their incarnations that they felt so separated and so alone and suffering and lost, that even in those moments they were so held, and they were so cared for and so guided. Behind the scenes, they couldn't see it, but these beings, the guides, the angels, all the beings that are supporting all the souls here have known you have to go through this. This is part of the growth. This is part of the learning. But they always knew behind it all that everybody would eventually get there. And so when this awakening happens and all these souls remember that even in their loneliest, hardest moments, that there was so much love backing them up, and this like appreciation and this gratitude to know that even in your darkest, loneliest, most sufferable moments, you were so loved and you were so held. You couldn't see it, but it was there. And the clarity of remembering that and what that brings to each individual soul's and sense of like relief and worthiness is so beautiful. And the being that is communicating this to me wants nothing more. Like it would be the greatest pleasure. It would be the greatest gift for them to see and witness this happen. And they're saying that it is going to happen. And they're just so happy because they know that this is what's ahead for everybody. They know it. And they're excited for us.
So whilst you were talking, there was a point where we were all being enveloped in this pale pink light. And I'm understanding that they are constantly feeding us things to help our soul, vitamins for the soul. And right now, we're all receiving green light into our third eye.
These beings that are standing behind are kind of coming into my attention, and they're all very serious. They're very, very serious. They're all kinds of beings. They I mean, in all shapes and sizes and colors and textures. Like they represent to me different extraterrestrial races. They represent to me different interdimensional beings that come from different dimension of vibratory fields, different layers of existence, who have all arrived to this meeting, and they're conveying to me with this really like, wow, it's like this like they're giving me this like pay attention to what you're being told, like listen to what you're being told. We have come all this way and we've put on all this effort to have this opening now to deliver this message to you, and we come with like the deepest sincerity in what it is that we're telling you, so that you can have faith and you can carry this faith of this message to fuel the mission that you have for it. I'm speaking individually, I'm speaking for all of us here, to really like integrate what you're being told right now, to move forward with that much reassurance and that much faith in the light that is coming, so that you can continue to do your work. And these beings are they're like I cannot tell you the gravity of what I'm feeling, of like how very serious this message is and how important it is that all of them took this moment out of whatever it is that they're doing to be here now with us and speak to us. And the addition of their presence in this conversation strengthens the intensity and the weight of this message. Like without them, it wouldn't feel as like potent as I'm feeling it right now. And they're also telling me this. They're saying all of us work with all of you. They're like this group, like that, like there's many people in this room, many people who will hear this message, and many people individually who aren't even a part of this message, that are tied to these different beings that are working with you know, you're part of that soul group, part of this soul group, you've worked with these beings, those beings, and each of these beings bring a different quality of gift. Some of them are straight up hands-on, like humanitarian, like roll up your sleeves, go out there, help feed the hungry, go do the stuff that requires that physical effort to go in and just like put in the work with the people physically. Some of them are are all about the astral plane, and there's like a frequencies, like we're emitting codes and we're exchanging codes of energy between this and that, and we're integrating new information and energies from other worlds into this dimension. Some of them are educators, some of them are speakers and channelers. There's some that bring a creative element, an innovative element. There's some that are growing. They're like with the food and the animals and the creatures and the nature and the plants. And there's all these different beings that represent a different level of expertise for the planet. And every way that you can imagine that somebody on Earth could be helpful or add even an ounce of positivity into the world, these beings are like individually from wherever they're from offer something. Like they're masterful in one area or another, and they're showing me that there are so many incarnate people on the planet right now that are part of that soul line, so that these beings are receiving, whether you're like a medicine person, a body worker, a channeler, a person who works in charity, a person who works in technology, an artist, a musician, whatever it is, all of these are being channeled in to the individuals that are tied to them to add to this beauty, the potential beauty of the earth. And they are representing the team that has come here to help the people. And at the same time, now they're showing me that there are many people who I don't want to say are not part of these groups, but they are so separated from the understanding of their origins that they might not ever discover it until the actual lift happens. But who I'm speaking of are those who are already on the awakened path, who are already developing in their spirituality, who have opened, who have cracked the shell open. All you need, they're showing me, is just a crack. All you need is a tiny opening for that light to start pouring in. And then I see like the rest of the world, they're just in this like tight shell. This is like they're just barricaded, and it just takes the tiniest little opening, and then the light can start pouring in. So even if you can touch or influence somebody in the tiniest little way, it is everything. It is the seed that starts them, So it's very important for us to be out there and doing the work and presenting and sharing and being more open. And this is being encouraged for all of us.
We're moving. They're taking us somewhere. So 3 of the beings that are in the group have taken us away from this platform, and we're going somewhere else right now. Looks to be a star system. And we're going to sit in the light of this system. It's some sort of energetic upgrade gift. Oh. It's light. They're infusing some sort of light into our bodies.
Mm.
Judea, it's going around your crown. Some sort of infusion for all of us, but they were specifically working around your crown chakra, Judea. This one is not for us. This is going out to the others in the world. This one's in the earth. You can think Scott, they gonna got to go to the Takota. What the kitchen got to go to cut your own market, go to get to continue to get you know, cut what the other one then you tuck the kitchen to get you won't hire no cut to Kayat, what the cat got that door, what you got that they go look at you, what that you got that for, what you got that, what you got to go, because they got to. This is a space that they want us to come to more. We come here a lot, but I think that it's a calling for others to please come into this space. There's so much to share. There's so much to receive. And this is our help. This is our assistance.
Yeah.
They want to help, and we have to meet them halfway. What you get to do not get to do Everyone's receiving something that's anchoring at the base of their spine. It's like you're getting your party bag after the party, and everyone's getting a little bit something different. There's so much love. Oh my God, there's so much love.
Open your heart.
You need to say your mantra, because this is the time.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the reminder from the higher dimensions, heart-centered mantra of 3, heart-centered thoughts, heart-centered words, heart-centered actions all day, every day. Reframe your thoughts, reframe the way that you move through this world, so that you know that you are the change that is needed.
You're done receiving.
I don't know. So Judah, how are you feeling?
Just having this very intense interaction.
Did you
It-
feel that they channeled everything they needed to channel through?
yes, I feel like it's complete. Whatever just came through.
Okay, well, I guess I don't know if did just because it seems like we still have time. I'm just gonna open it up a little bit. So I don't know if anybody wants to raise their hand to share maybe something they were getting or you know that kind of thing. So Shelby's here. I should be able to. You can unmute or yeah.
Yep, I'm here. I'm getting very clear messages to share how to do the heart share.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So the heart share was something that we learned how to do in one of our first sessions, and it'll be really beneficial for everyone to know how to. And it's a kind of like a Reiki where it's you're calling in the love from source, from being that oneness. And so if you're a visual person, you can almost feel the love come in, and as you like take a nice dip, inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, drop your awareness down into your heart space and go right into that center of your heart, right where you feel that feeling of love. When you're in love with someone, when you see a child, when you see, your puppy, that feeling of love, and bring up that feeling of love. And then what you're going to do is you're going to project that love, and it's called a heart share. So you're sharing that love with a being, with a situation, with a person, with a piece of land. It doesn't matter. And so you're actively taking it inward into that heart, calling upon that deep seated feeling of love. And then you're like almost like visually projecting it out to them. So if it helps, you can make like a little heart with your hands and then point it towards wherever you want it to go. But if there's a situation or an argument or a conflict happening that you don't know what to do, or there feels like there's nothing that can be done, just actually actively sharing love with that person, with that situation, with that um, being will help with that situation. And so it's a action that we can take over and over and over to not only love, because love isn't just a feeling, it's an action. And so you use that action. And if there's something you feel helpless, like there's nothing you could do about it, you just send the love.
Perfect.
Thank you, Shelby. That's beautiful. Well said.
Anyone else have any shares or just comments they wanted to bring in before we move to wrap up? Because everyone's a little stunned. Was everybody feeling like they're in a good space for us to close down or to wrap up this session?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So it looks like everybody's looking ready to go.
So much confirmation.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, Ellen raised her hand. Hold on a second. Did you?
Yes,
Ellen.
sorry. Can you hear me? I was
Yeah.
trying to unmute and it wasn't working. Okay, so I just did want to say one thing that kind of kept coming through was that we're supposed to be kind of on the first kind of forefronts of helping the people who are mass awakening right now. And I have been finding it a lot lately, like sometimes I don't really have the words to help, change people's minds or whatever. But I have been using that heart share that Shelby just shared. So, like, sometimes even just opening your heart and sending that frequency to those people who you might feel need that extra push, sharing that frequency with them, and kind of pulling on the threads of their hearts. You don't know how that's going to play out, but it can have a massive effect. So that's all I wanted to say about that. But yeah.
No, that was perfect, Ellen. It's a good reminder that something it's not too difficult, and it's fairly simple to do, but always being able to, use that when in a situation of being unsure about what to do. And a really good reminder is that we do have a heart share CoSession video available on our YouTube channel. So if people just want to listen to that and receive sort of the guidance and the energy from the call, these calls do retain any energy activations, coded in it. So even if you don't catch the live session, many people have repeated back to me, or at least confirmed, that when they do listen to those sessions, they receive whatever was coded in the call. Oh, Juliet.
Yeah, hi Vera. Thank you so much. That was incredibly powerful, and I'm still trying to digest it and feel like I'm only halfway there right now, or halfway back in my body. So what we experience is God, I can't even talk straight right now.
It's okay.
That was so profound. It's just it's so overwhelming in a beautiful way. Were those codes that we expect to just continue to like grow and evolve and do something with, other than just feel like we need to be the light and pillar for others? Are you?
No, I understand what you're saying, and I know sometimes it can be somewhat confusing to receive whatever activations or coding or etc. in the calls, but it's just trust your you're doing the things that are necessary to continue to grow and promote that. I know that a lot of times it doesn't feel like we get an instruction manual, but most of that is to expand us, and in so many ways we just trust that that's happening through our commitment, our devotion to what we're doing right now. So yeah, I know not necessarily that you have to do something with it. A lot of stuff gets downloaded and channeled, and it sometimes it unpacks for a couple of days. It's not going to happen in the instant. And I know what you mean. It's like when you get a big download of energy like that, it's like, well, what do I do? Just trust and sit with it and let it unpack as it's supposed to.
Yeah, thank you. That helps. And I just wanted to share just a personal experience, is that I had a meditation this morning where Jesus came to me, and that has only happened once in my whole life. So it was very rare, and this just was very synchronous, the way it all unfolded, and I could see these beings from all these different universes that I didn't understand. And when Judea explained that, it just solidified that I was seeing that. And yeah, it was so profound. So thank you. I cannot express enough gratitude to you and Judea, and even Shelby, and everyone who shares this. It's so profound, the impact. So much gratitude. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing. That's important.
That is, yeah, it is, thanks, because these are just huge things that we're receiving. We don't understand them. Like Vera said, we don't always understand them. We know that we're getting something, but I'm not certain we have the human words to transcribe what it is, and sitting with it. And something will unfurl or happen, or you'll have an understanding within days or weeks, or for me, sometimes even months. But they are giving us what we need. we just don't have the words to describe what it is yet.
Thank you for sharing that, Juliet. That's really, thank you so much. And then I guess Teresa, you also want to Oops, your mute is on. Okay, good.
There we go. I couldn't touch it hard enough. Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Judea. This is such a sacred space here for us, and that was incredible. I'm in tears as well. My whole body was tingling. I could feel the crown to the root and into the earth and up above. And recently, in my nightly prayers, I've always been praying for myself and my loved ones, you know, for guidance and health and all those things. But in the past few months, I've been asking for prayers from or energy from my higher self and from source to go to the neediest on earth, mostly the children, anyone who's hurting, suffering in any way. And I try to send that, even if it's just one child, I try to send that love and light to them, and I envision that. And this is just that's part of my growth, I think, and part of this whole process of ascending into my best self and highest self. And I do love imagining the heart source and the energy coming from that, the light and love. And I always feel like I am supported by my spirit guides and angels. They have been talking to me through knocking on my walls at night.
Oh, you get that too? I get that.
Okay. Yeah, recently
I get those little cracks. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I recently asked my spirit guide, Absalom, I said, I know you're here with me, but can you give me a sign, please? And immediately I had 2 raps on the roof right above my bed, like about 4 feet apart, a couple seconds apart. And since then, I've been in my prayers. It's only when I'm saying my prayers at night, I'm hearing these, like you said, the raps.
Synchronous, yeah. No, that's very cool.
It's their energy. They're saying, yeah, we're here.
They're letting you know they're here. Yeah, no, I agree.
I told him I would never doubt again that he's with me.
Yeah, it's the best validation you can get for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This has just been marvelous. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
We appreciate all of you. So yeah, appreciate you, Teresa. Appreciate you, Juliet. Is there anybody else who would like to share or make a comment?
I will. Oh my God, I'm just pulling myself up.
Sure.
That was so intense. Like even after that was Jesus, and that was a group full of extraterrestrials. And then I had a very intense encounter with Archangel Michael right afterwards, but it was like more personal, so I don't really want to share it. But it was like, oh my God, it was so beautiful and so intense and so powerful and so in a way validating, because on a side share, you know, I've been going through you know, for those of you who know about last year and all the prophecy and all these things, and on the new year I was told to let it go and decompress, because it was such a hard year. And so I've let it all go, and I've been and God was like, and I'll call on you when it's time again. And for the last few weeks, I've had to accept that I'm in that call again, you know, where everything's getting very intense, and I'm having constant visit from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, all day long, visitations, messages, visions, all these things. And it's even more intense than it was last year. And it's been, I'm handling it a lot better than I was last year, but you know, I'm just in a very deep process with it. And for you to hold this container for me, because it's a lot different than when I'm just like in my room and being bombarded with somebody, and like with when I'm saying you and everybody else in the space, there was such a strength in this container that it was like I had no doubt that I was with the illuminated, the highest of the high, the truth of the truth. There was no doubt that the communications that were coming through were of the highest integrity and of the highest light. Because sometimes when I'm by myself, I go through this thing. It's like it feels correct, but like I feel so vulnerable at the same time, because I didn't like light the altar. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't activate the prayer. I didn't call in the thing. They just arrive. So it feels a little bit more, you know, vulnerable, but this felt so secure. And so what I received just felt like more validation to some of the messages that I've been receiving. And once again, Vera, I was like just completely floored and blown away, and it's just really amazing. It's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm just, like I said, just grateful, and this is so full circle for me with you. Trust me, because we started out with that one call and my not so polished meditation that you said was amazing. And then now
I mean, it was just as intense. I mean, this was very, I was like, almost forgot. I was like, hold on. I was like, what's happening? Yeah, it was really incredible. You know, I'd love to have you come back if you want.
Oh no,
You know.
I totally believe that this is the calling for the collective. This is the next level of what light worker community is. It is not, we are strong individually, but in numbers we have the power. And this is where I really foresee us moving into that next level of community and integration. Do you mind if anybody else chimes up real quick? I think Johanna wants to speak.
Yeah.
Here, hold on a second.
It's actually Monique, and I just wanted to just speak on one thing, is that as a reminder, as we ascend, they're already trying to meet us, right? Any of the energies, the extraterrestrials and whatnot, but as we ascend higher, the energy gets stronger. And so that we need to just stay in that space and take it in slowly. But eventually it is going to merge. And a lot of what Tamara does and gives to us during these co-sessions is an upgraded energy, so that when that transaction actually happens, it's not like we're hit with a sledgehammer, that we're actually able to go into the energy so much smoother.
More prepared. Yeah, no, she definitely prepares. She can see what the expansions are, and she can guide in those guide in those expansions with the energy work necessary for what we'll call preparing you to expand, to receive more energy or more energetic upgrades. But thanks to that, Monique, that's a very good thing to bring up. Was that it? It looks like Denise wants to make a statement.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you, Denise.
Okay, perfect. Hi, thank you so much. I just wanted to say I've seen a lot of kind of like Easter eggs dropped around of imagery, of key imagery, bridge imagery, and lantern imagery. It's been just, I've been bombarded with symbols of key, bridge, and lantern, and I feel like at least two of those things were mentioned by Jude during our thing. So if anybody else has been seeing those, I mean, I think it's so important to recognize that like we all hold a key. We are a bridge for other people and ourselves, and we all hold a lantern. So, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have seen those things in the last couple weeks. It's been crazy. And I just saw a whole bunch of like beautiful blues, purple, magenta, rainbow spirals, blue and gold. And during our calls, I've never done this before, but I had some crazy like writing light language going on, and I'm really excited about that. So thank you, because I feel like that helped open up something for me. And I'm just really excited. So I wanted to thank all of you guys, because I mean, Vera, Tamara, Jude, and all of you, it's been really amazing. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Denise. It's always important to share, because just like Judea said, sometimes when you're isolated, you may be getting information, but there's this level of questionability you might have because you're not sure if you're the only one. I think it's really important for everyone to be able to share their experiences so that we can validate each other and really actually be pleasantly surprised that more often than not, what you're getting, someone else is getting, and it's not just one singular perspective of truth. It's several different perspectives meeting and integrating in the center of that truth. So I think that really reinforces the fact that, hey, the messages we're getting, they're accurate, they're strong, and they're meant for us to receive. So I think that's really critical. Was there anyone else? If not, I'll go ahead and start to plan to wrap up. Jude, do you want to say anything before we exit out of the field?
Just just immense amount of gratitude. That was really beautiful and very powerful. And yeah, just thank you.
No worries. I'm really happy that thank you so much. All right, so now I'm going to basically take us through the reverse. And we're going to, as we moved into the higher realms of the Akashic field, we're now going to exit out. And so I'm going to take you through that guided journey once again. So let's start to take our energy awareness within to ourselves, sort of recalibrating back into the points of presence of our front, back, left, and right sides. As I start to move to close the records, I call upon the cosmic table of light and I ask for source light records for myself. Vera Valencia Takakura, Judea Lynch, Tamara Pasick, and then for each and every person in session, if you can just say your name out loud.
Teresa.
Georgia.
Karen.
Juliet.
Lauren.
Brigitte. Sandra.
Natalie. Denise Scott.
Ellen Warren.
Kashiko Temple.
Tina Edlund.
Jack.
Judea.
As we start to call upon the source light records for each and every one of you to be retrieved back into the center in the palm of my hand. A lot of energy is moving right now. Giving that a minute. I'm going to turn my palm back over to the cosmic table of light as I move to close the records. We all in session give gratitude for all the healings, clearing, support, guidance, assistance, information streams, downloads, frequencies, vibrations of the highest order and magnitude that have come forth for ourselves and all in session. Honoring, acknowledging, and giving gratitude to the ascended masters, teachers, loved ones, star families, galactic beings, archangels, ancestors, record keepers, guides, and beings of light. Dragons add some in present. As the records continue to close and we exit field access from the Akasha, we are also setting the intention that all cords, connections, bindings, contracts, portals, vortexes, energies, whether intentionally or unintentionally or consciously or unconsciously created, be fully and completely released as we detach from the field. Start plucking ourselves one by one out of this energy so that we may alight again through the power of source, through the sun, soul star, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, legs, feet, traveling down the earth star, continuing down into the central and crystalline core of the planet, anchoring, centering, grounding with Mother Earth here. Let's give that a moment to just feel ourselves back into the cradle of Mother Earth, so that we may alight again up through the earth star, feet, legs, root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown, all the way up into the central sun, pushing past into the unity consciousness field, pushing back into our reconnection to source. We're resetting our connection, our chakra circuit pathway, so that we may again descend back down through the sun, soul star, crown, third eye, throat. Let's home and center into our heart space. Let's all expand our hearts into the universe. Let's put our palms up on our lap to upload our gratitude, our frequency, our unconditional love to the universal collective. As we receive, we shall also give back in this even energetic exchange. So we send that through and feel that energy release, so that this may allow us to start to move back into Mother Earth's sacred space, setting the intention to process and integrate all that has been transmitted and all that has been received, allowing us to continue this flow state, knowing that we are one with the all and the all is one with us, allowing us to find our center point back into our home base so that we are anchored back into this 3D physicality, back into this earth plane, Aliyashwa. So it is, and it is so. We are back. We are back. We are back. Imagine a beam of light above your head, splitting into the two sides of you to ray trace the triangle. And as soon as you reach foot level, creating that final seal, so you are back into Mother Earth's energetic blueprint. How's everybody feeling?
So good.
I love that you're so casual. You're just like, yeah, you know, just going up, talking to interdimensional beings, coming back. How's everyone doing? Okay, moving on.
Well, I'm just glad everybody made it, and I hope everyone received what they felt they needed. And we're just, again, super grateful, Judea, that you allowed us to hold this this container with you and the Omnichakra members. And you know, hopefully, you know, as we feel the calling, we'll be able to do, you know, these more of these in the future, because I do feel like there's
I would definitely love to do it again. I thought that was one of the most powerful I don't know what to call it, meditations or whatever I've had in quite a while. That was
we're
really
astral traveling. We're astral traveling awake. That's
very.
basically what we're doing.
There was a point where I thought I was going to incorporate and sing a song. Like I felt this guide coming in, and I was like, "Now's not the time to sing." I felt this song wanting to come through. I was like, "Hold up."
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to do it again, and I'll figure out how to get you on the schedule. That was really amazing. I mean, I knew it was going to be amazing. It was just a matter of me trying to find time. So it worked out really well. I'm glad that you like presented the idea of doing it here. I was like, oh yeah, of course, that sounds great. I'm so happy. So
no, that worked out. And so yeah, if I'm going to be trying to develop a platform for it. I do want to talk to you about it, Jude, because I feel like there's just this, mutual feeling amongst the light worker community. I don't know exactly what it is yet. It's just sort of like this feeling I'm getting pushed on. But there is the website Connexus Portal. We do have a YouTube channel, Connexus Portal. And again, it's there's many other sessions, co-sessions we've had there that if you want to listen to, some of them have timeline healings, some of them have energetic upgrades. I mean, there's just a million things we can go into different directions with. But always the central theme and the central focus is for the collective. It's for the group. It's for the light worker community. So so that everyone can benefit by listening to those.
when is your next co-session that people could jump in on?
This was like a big one. We haven't even had a chance to put that together, but if you want to, you can register on the website to get the next update and to be on the wait list for us to start creating a platform. Because like I said, right now I've just been doing it with getting people on WhatsApp and sort of just doing this, as we go along. But I kind of feel like with the bigger interest, there's going to be a need to organize it a little better than the way that I have it right now. So.
Okay.
It's
well, I wish you all the
very
best.
large, very fast, because it's so portable, because it's so powerful, and the people that are in it are bringing others in that they feel are ready and powerful too. So it's become this amazing group, and Vera's very good at organizing these things, but we're on the precipice. She's on the precipice of having something that can accommodate more people.
I'm like really excited, Vera, and it's like reminding me of like way back in the beginning when I said I saw you doing this, but interweaving your technological background and all of it, and just your ability, to network it. I mean, even your chart with the Merkaba was just so beautiful, and just I'm like, wow, this is like a movement here. Somebody asked for the website, if you could put it in the chat.
Okay.
And and then I'll be sure to list all of her contacts when I repost this video, the recording, for everybody. And thank you, Tamara, too. Thank you so much for your activations and stuff. I know you're the one. I've been around your activations a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't have them if I hadn't come to PSI, that's for sure.
Oh. Yeah, it's been beautiful to see all of you grow so much, and it's just been awesome. Hi, Bonnie, too. I see you there. And
The
Monique.
rest of the PSI groups, right?
I've seen literally, I'm not joking for all of you who haven't, I have seen these women just fully blossom into themselves in a very short period of time. And it's been really amazing to witness. And I'm like really, I feel a little sense of pride, like almost like, ooh,
It's like on one hand, no, well, you brought us all together. There's no doubt you brought us all together. But I always tease and kid that I was the lucky one that was able to get.
you were the first, I
Yeah.
think. You were the
So
you were the one that you took it and turned it into something. But yeah, Dan, I see you too. Sandra, everybody, so beautiful. Well, I look forward to meeting everybody one day, and yeah, it'll be interesting to do this in person with you, Vera. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah, no, so do I. But thank you everyone for lending your frequency, because everyone's frequency counts. And definitely, if you want to sign up and register, just go to the website, and I will make sure to let everybody know when we have the next one. So thank you everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. CoSession would not happen without you. Remember that. So take care.
Thank you, Vera.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Judea.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Love you guys. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Tamara.
Love and light.
You.
Thank you.